I couldn't line it up for some reason. I had periods last night. I didn't get outside late.
Okay. Honor, courage, commitment, and signature signing away your life for 4 years to however many tours that you want to do are just a few things brave men and women do every day to join our active duty military. Well, what if they came back with mental disorders and the government wouldn't help them, the military and their country that they served for 4+ years wouldn't help them either, to where they'd have panic attacks, severe anxiety, and also a straight living nightmare that they felt like they would live with for the rest of their life. I'm going to talk to you today about PTSD. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event. Symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety. Today, I'm going to explain to you what PTSD does, how it affects families, and what I believe to be the solution to solving soldiers coming back from war. According to veteran Scott Lee of healthandsurvival.com, who has recovered from PTSD, he states, quote, "PTSD rewires the brain's neurological landscape. It is as if we have been given a new brain with the same memories and no one has told us of the switch." Now here's some of the effects of PTSD. Soldiers getting back from war can't cope with real life. They come back, their head's all screwed up, they can't hold a stable job, and just the simple things such as like a balloon going off, or being over by the railroads of a train, or having someone open a door too fast or slam a door, it's gonna make them jump, and it triggers back memories of what they may or may not have had to do during war, what they saw, or just the overall stress of doing multiple tours for 15 months at a time, and they just can't handle it. According to the Associated Press of MSNBC, on June 30th, 2004, they released an article titled, "1 in 8 returning soldiers suffer from PTSD." Less than 4 years later, Greg Zoroya did an article saying 1 in 5 soldiers are at risk for PTSD. There seems to be an increasing amount of people with PTSD, and these are the only ones that are reported. In the military, if you tell someone that, hey, I think I might have a mental problem, they're not going to let you come back on tour. They're not going to let you be with your band of brothers that you've been with for 4 years. They don't want that in there. So soldiers naturally will hide it. So, of course, if they can't get help, or if they can't ask for help, then they're not going to get it. And they're encouraged to get help when they're done with their tour. But, you know, of course, with the economy being the way it is, at that point in their life, if they have another tour, they're not going to go seek psychiatric help just to go back on tour and be with their brothers. Some of the side effects of PTSD include alcoholism, also anxiety, and a heavy dosage of antidepressants. According to the Army Mental Health Advisory Report and this article, Treating the Invisible Wounds of War, on dirjournal.com in 2008, they reported that 12% of troops in Iraq and 17% of troops in Afghanistan are taking antidepressants. That's the only statistic that is reported. That's not everyone. I can imagine a much more severe amount of people or a drastic amount of people more are on antidepressants. On top of it, not everyone in the military is infantry. Not everyone can go out there with a gun. The United States Marine Corps has 230,000 enlisted active duty members. The infantry only makes up 5,000 of those 230,000 members. So can you imagine 17% of all the people that are in Iraq and Afghanistan? That's way too many infantry or grunts or whatever you want to call them that it's even possible to be out there. So that could be people that are in artillery or anything else. Now that you know what typically happens to a soldier when they come back, I want to tell you guys about my possible solution. The military should make every soldier that goes overseas comes back as a part of their contract if they want to be dishonorably discharged, to go through a 3-month, in what I believe, boot camp. In boot camp, they train you from being a civilian to a soldier. I believe at the end of your tour, you should have a 3-month boot camp all around the world be retransformed from a soldier to a civilian, or however long it takes. You could have psychiatrists, doctors, it could be like a huge military base. My experience on Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, which I went to my buddy's graduation, it was a huge military base with tons of buildings. They had restaurants, Pizza Hut, fast food chains, the whole deal. It was gigantic. This could bring thousands of jobs to people who just want to come in and help our vets. I say, why not just not build one, build multiple ones throughout the country and get their families involved and explain even to their families, hey, you're gonna have a soldier that might be doing this or might have night terrors. Get everyone involved and help retransform the soldier that we transform them to a civilian that they need to be. And this is my buddy Ryan. He is my best friend in high school, and he is in infantry in the Marine Corps. And it kind of, he motivated me to do this. And thankfully he hasn't been shipped off to Iraq, but he's crazy enough to do it because he's crazy enough to join the Marines. So now that you guys know everything about PTSD, maybe you guys can join me in helping propose this situation.